Guys, today is some day in May, beginning of May, and today we're going to be hiking Mount Ross. For a full hike review of Mount Ross, you can check the link below. This is Democrat, Cameron is right around there, and then Lincoln is over there, and Ross is right up there. As you can tell by just the quick look around, it's very much still snowy conditions, winter conditions here. So I have my snowboard. So that'll be the plan for the way down. It's pretty windy today and it's pretty cold, so hopefully the snow stays firm for a bit. Got a little bit later of a start than I wanted, but still looks like a beautiful day, and hopefully the wind dies down a bit. So standard route up Democrat is kind of like right this hill, working the ridge. That is a false summit, and then that little tip right there is the real one. For Ross, whether you're coming down or coming up, you're gonna want to stick to the shoulder right here. Sorry for the wind. Ross in the summer is one of my least favorite mountains to hike because this gully right here gets really eaten out. I haven't done it in like 4 years, and I can only imagine how bad it is now because it was awful then. So this is one I'd recommend that you hit in the spring. If there's some snow left, that's a good thing. If you're not looking to do a full-blown winter hike and still looking to do the decalibron here. The ridgeline, so the route is pretty straight up. You go up to the summit of Ross there, and then work across the ridge. You go back to Lincoln, come back here, go to Cameron, and then up to Democrat. Of course, if you're doing it in a different order, you just reverse everything I just said. So today, fortunately, snowshoes have been necessary, which really sucks ass. So I took the ridge. Center trail is like over there. And then you can see a group right there making its way up Democrat. Pretty windy. Snow's real soft. False summit is here. True summit is over of Ross, that is. Even with GPS, sometimes it's really hard to find the trail in the winter. Up here, you can see it's very obvious where it is, right? It goes all the way there, summit there. But since we're already committed to this ridge, we're just gonna ride it out. If we were to cross over to the trail, we'd lose so much elevation that's just pointless. So yeah, sticking with the ridge. So a quick note about Mount Ross. You'll read online that it's part of private land. It's mining land, which it is. If you ever pull up a map of this area, so the decalibron in general, you'll see that basically there's like 1,000 different dividers between who owns what, between just public land and US forest and mining. So although it's technically illegal to hike Mount Ross, it's basically a given that the owners of the mine allow it to happen. Now, of course, I'm sure in a really unlucky circumstance you could technically get fined because you're trespassing, but it's such a popular mountain, I think the mining company has just kind of given up patrolling it, if you will. So that applies all year round. It's not like it's a seasonal closure. It is technically illegal to hike year-round. But I'll look around now that the wind's died down a bit. The snow level here is crazy for May. Just pretty insane. Usually you wouldn't be able to see nearly this much snow, especially in this group of mountains, because the wind blows it so much, but it's so deep this year. I turned the thing on and the wind starts. Man, it's been a bitch. We're breaking trail the whole time. The standard trail probably would have been a better choice, but like I said this morning, when you're in the winter it's really hard to tell where stuff is. So yeah, I made a judgment call and it was probably the wrong one. Ross is probably the ugliest summit, one of the ugliest ones I've been on. It's just like a flat area with a big pile of rocks. You can't actually drive, well, you can drive up almost all the way to this, which kind of gives you an idea of what kind of hiking this is. In the summer, it's pretty monotonous and boring. A lot of scree. All this stuff right here is just loose rock. Yeah, definitely gonna bail on my plans to do everything I said earlier, so it'll just be Bros today. Just my legs are tired and don't feel like forcing it, but the snow is awesome, so the ride down should be really fun. Kind of get a look down at the ridge line there. You see our track all the way down, and where we came in, which was right around the corner there. So we've been hiking for hours and haven't made much progress, but it's just because the conditions are brutal today. Once you get here, they're gonna see a big cairn, and that's the summit. It doesn't look like much, but that's what you're aiming for. Clouds moving in, but just some minor precipitation today, so if we hit anything, it's nothing crazy. I imagine summit views are gonna be pretty bad, but quick whirl around here. That's Democrat, Cameron, Lincoln, Bros. So yeah, Mount Bros doesn't have great views on the top because it's so flat, so you don't get a big drop off. So basically what you're looking at now is what you'll get on the summit. Halfway down the gully here. Man, what a shitty way down. I ran over a ton of rocks with my board, so I'm pretty sure it's ruined. Lost my other GoPro, so that's great. Luckily I'm finally able to get some turns, even though the bottom of my board is like frozen. So yeah, all in all, a really good afternoon so far. Almost down, and I couldn't be happier to get off this damn mountain. Man, Mother Nature is always teaching you lessons. Obviously back in the car now, and yeah, coming down Bros was not ideal. The snow coverage at the top was not as deep as I thought, so I was snowboarding down, hit a bunch of rocks, and pretty much demolished the bottom of my board. And to put the icing on the cake, one of my GoPros snapped off of the stick when I fell, and I couldn't find it in the snow. So I was digging around for a while, but you know, it was just gonna be a lost cause after a certain point. So after that point, I kind of made a different decision and picked a different line in the snow. The snow was great, the coverage was great, and I was able to snowboard down about 75% of the way back to the car here. But yeah, it's just, I mean, something, Mother Nature always teaches you lessons, and today I learned to test and not just assume that the snow coverage is the same in every spot, which is a really stupid thing that I should have definitely done. But you know, I was so excited to snowboard down, I think, and the winds and everything mentally was just kind of like messing with my head, so I made a stupid decision. And luckily no injuries or anything, but you know, definitely out financially a couple $100, and you know, whatever footage I had on there too, which really sucks. So back to Mount Bros, from car to car, about 6 miles. In the winter you can you know, the road closure depends on the season, but you're gonna have to add another 1.5 miles or so, depending on where you can get up to. The parking up here is really limited, so there's about 5 cars maybe that you can fit, but it is doable in most vehicles. Definitely I wouldn't bring a dog on this unless your dog is good off leash, you know, running around while you ski or snowboard down. So yeah,
overall, I mean, it was an okay day. Just really bummed out on how it ended. So, you know, what are you gonna do? And on another note, if anyone finds a GoPro on Mount Bros, I would love you forever if you return it to me. It's a GoPro Hero 4. But anyway, so for a full hike review of Mount Bros, you can check the link below. Please subscribe not to miss any future hike adventures. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment or give this video a like if you found it helpful.